Savannah Mulrine with the Christian Science Monitor. And I just wanted to follow up a little bit on Courtney's question. And there have been so few medals of honor awarded for the war in Afghanistan. And a lot of what we hear here at the Pentagon is that it's a different kind of war. There's more technology, versus, say, World War II, for example. And I just wanted to get your take on that. How does it feel to be the only living recipient of such a tremendous honor? And I was also curious too, just what the reaction has been among your fellow soldiers there in Italy.
Kind of what I was going back to what I was saying before. In this job, I am only mediocre. I'm average. This was a situation that we were put into, and by no means did I do anything that anyone else wouldn't have done in that situation. Looking at it as like a pitcher, I was just one brushstroke in that pitcher, and everyone else was one brushstroke in that pitcher. And what I did wasn't the first brushstroke of the pitcher, and it wasn't the last brushstroke in the pitcher, and it wasn't the best. It was just another brushstroke that helped, complete this pitcher or this moment in time. And the guys here are proud of me. It means a lot. This is a huge honor. But they know that, and I know that, and I hope that I can convey, to the world how great the average soldier is, because you're sitting here talking to me, so you must think that, and I think that about them, and I think it's it means a lot to say that, and hopefully more people start thinking about Afghanistan or Iraq, or the men and women that are out there, regardless of what they're doing. They are away from their families and their loved ones in a different country, trying to improve the country, whether it be handing out stuff or helping them learn new trades or different things that can pull them away from their troubled past that they've been having. The American soldier has been everything that the American people have asked for, and it's important to remember that.
If we could go back to that night on October 25th, this is Larry from CNN again. You stopped when you talked about you'd gone about 100 meters, and that's when the enemy engaged you. Can you talk now about that engagement? How did it play out? How many enemy were you facing? What weapons were they using against you? And how it is, from what I understand, it was over in a matter of minutes. Did you make a lot of conscious decisions, or were you reacting subconsciously to the point where it was over with and the medevac helicopter was coming in?
When the ambush happened, I would say there's probably, I don't know, 10 to 20 people. It all kind of goes blurry, and I think that kind of leads into your second part of, there wasn't a whole lot of thinking. There wasn't a whole lot of thinking that I needed to do. This is my job. This is my profession. I don't have anything else on the side. This is what I've chose to do with my life for the past, 6 years now. And everyone else I'm with is in the same boat. All professionals, all conducting themselves as professionals. So there wasn't a whole lot of thinking that any of us needed to do. It's something we train, and it's something that we prepare for, because you have to train how you fight. And this is something everyone was aware that could happen. So everyone just kind of played their part, followed their leaders, and conducted themselves how they were trained. So, you don't know exactly how it's going to go, but at the end, everyone played their role completely, and we didn't really talk about it. There was no time. Just because all this happens after the medevac bird comes in and starts picking people up, it's not over. You're not out of Afghanistan. You're not off the side of the mountain. You're just minus some buddies. And there's no time to talk. You still have to complete the mission, and we're still an hour and a half walk away from where we needed to be, and now we have extra equipment and less men. So there wasn't a whole lot of even talking afterwards. Everyone knew or had an idea of what had happened, but no one really knew, because even when I speak about this, I don't know what the whole line was doing. I only know what, directly the 6 people that I was actively with, roughly what they were doing, and they only know what I was doing because everything else was behind us. We were all just playing our piece, and that's part of training.
Follow up. You made the point a couple times that you didn't do anything any other soldier wouldn't have done, but there were other soldiers there, and something told you when you were being shot at by the Taliban from your left that the real threat was ahead, and you went forward towards Eck Road, towards Sergeant Brennan, and basically you were going towards where some of the firing from the Taliban was coming from, while other soldiers who were involved in the fight were focused on the enemy attack from your left. At what point did you determine that the best thing that you could do was to go forward on the trail and catch up with Eck Road and Brennan, as opposed to turning to your left and facing the immediate threat of a large group of Taliban with a lot of heavy weaponry?
Well, sir, I wasn't alone, because Staff Sergeant Gallardo, who's the squad leader, and I was the team leader, he was trying to push forward. And I did have kind of a, well, before we started pushing forward, I was hit in the SAPI plate from a different direction. It wasn't from the direction that everyone else was shooting or I was shooting. And so, there's nothing to do with it at that time, but that's something to always keep in the back of your mind. And I definitely felt that I got hit from that direction. So when we pushed forward, Staff Sergeant Gallardo, myself, Specialist Casey, and Specialist Clary, we pushed forward together. But when we were pushing forward, we were also throwing grenades. So we're throwing grenades, we're moving when the grenades explode. And Casey is the one that was on the SAW, which is, it's a mass casualty producing weapon. He's shooting more rounds than everyone else. So it's more important for him to be playing his part, and his part was to do more shooting than moving at that time. And we made it to Specialist Eck Road, and I was out of grenades, so there was no need for all 4 of us to be with Eck Road when there was still further to go, and I didn't have any more grenades, and I had the forward momentum going, so I didn't run up to do anything heroic or to save Brennan. Brennan, in my mind, wasn't in trouble. I was just going to go up, and I'm going to find Brennan, and we're going to shoot together, because it's better to shoot with a buddy than be shooting alone. So there was no fear in my mind. The fear was the same. Everyone's getting shot at. Everyone's in the same boat. No sense leaving 5 people there. I'll just keep on going. I'm running anyway. I'm out of grenades. Might as well just run. And the direction was forward, but that was the direction we were all going.